So just as a lamp is to light a dark room, Christians, our faith is supposed to light up the darkness for people out there in the world who are in the dark, who don't know about Jesus, who are living in the dark, who are stumbling around. They're lost. And we have the light to show them the way, to Jesus. We're going to be looking at Mark chapter 4, starting in verse 21. And this is Jesus talking. He says, "Do you bring in a lamp to put it under a bowl or a bed? Instead, don't you put it on its stand? For whatever is concealed is meant to be brought out into the open." Now, this is a parable. A parable is an earthly story with a heavenly meaning. Jesus uses parables. He uses these earthly stories. He uses things that people understand, that people are familiar with, to help them understand spiritual truths, things that are harder to understand. He relates them. And in biblical times, they didn't have light switches. They didn't have lamps like we do. They had something like this. And I don't know if you can see this, so I put a picture up here. Is the picture up there? You can kind of see it. It was something like this, a little clay lamp that they put oil in there and lit them. And the people during this time, when Jesus was talking about lighting your lamp, this is what they would have pictured. This is what they would have been very familiar with, because they would have had these in their homes. They would have had, in the temple, there were 7 of these on the lampstand. And so they would have been very familiar with the lamp. And in this passage, the light of the lamp represents faith in Jesus. And like a light, our faith in Jesus is not meant to be hidden. It's not meant to be concealed. It's meant to be revealed to the world. It's meant to be brought out into the open and shared with others. So he's saying, if you walk into a dark room, you wouldn't light your lamp and then hide it under a bowl or hide it under a bed. No, you would put it up on a lampstand to light the whole room so that everyone could see. It's just like if you were to walk into your house and turn on a lamp, would you throw a big heavy blanket over the top of it and cover up the light? No, because what's the point? Why would you even turn the lamp on if you're just going to cover up the light, right? So just as a lamp is to light a dark room, Christians, our faith is supposed to light up the darkness for people out there in the world who are in the dark, who don't know about Jesus, who are living in the dark, who are stumbling around. They're lost. And we have the light to show them the way to Jesus. And we're not supposed to hide that. I hear people all the time say, well, my faith is a very personal thing. Why? It's not supposed to be a personal thing. It's supposed to be something that we live out loud, that people see in us. Jesus said this in the Sermon on the Mount. He said, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Let your light shine. I talked a few weeks ago about how the church is referred to as the bride of Christ. And so you can kind of think of it this way. Like, I wear a wedding ring to show that I am in a committed relationship. I'm married to my husband. Now, I don't just wear my wedding ring when I'm with him. I wear it all the time. There are not times when I take it off and go somewhere without him and decide, I just don't feel like I'm married today. Don't do that. Some people do. Some people take off their wedding ring on days that they want to act single, and they take off their wedding ring and they go out. Now, I don't recommend that, because that's not okay. That would show that you're not actually committed, right? And it's the same way with our relationship with the Lord. And I don't have to tell you that those relationships don't last. You know that. But it's the same way with the relationship with the Lord. If you're only committed to God when it's convenient and when it's easy, that's not commitment. That's not commitment. You can't treat your faith like a wedding ring that you put on and take off when you want to be married and you don't want to be married. And you can't treat your faith like a lamp that you light on Sunday morning, but you cover it up the rest of the week. That's not how it works. Either it's who you are or it isn't. So the question becomes this morning, are you in a committed relationship with Jesus? Or are you just seeing him on the weekends? Because if you're just seeing him on the weekends, then it's time to commit. It's time to step it up in this relationship and let your light shine. So how do we do that? How do we let our light shine? Here are a few ways. With our words, with what we say, with how we say things, with what we say to people, with what we say about people. Words have power, right? The words we choose mean something. You know, it's like, have you ever heard someone just go off cussing and ranting and raving and throwing a fit, and then somebody say, you kiss your mama with that mouth? Or you praise your Lord with that mouth? Because what you say reflects who you are, and it reflects whose you are. The words of your mouth should bring him glory and honor. We should be talking about how great he is. We should be telling people about him. We should be letting people know what he has done in our lives. You know, it's like I think everywhere we go these days, doesn't matter if it's a restaurant or if it's a business, whatever it is, everywhere we go, the people are saying, hey, if you like us, you know, give us 5 stars. If you like us, rate us. If you like us, follow us on social media. If you like us, tell your friends, right? And I'm good with that because I like doing that. I give my rating and my review to a lot of different places because I like to do that. Because if I really enjoy something, then I want everybody to know about it. I want them to go eat at that restaurant. I want them to go on that vacation and enjoy those things too, right? But Jesus is greater than all those things. And so if we like Jesus, then we should be following him. And we should be talking about him. We should be telling our friends about him and encouraging them to get to know him. The second way that we let our light shine is with our hearts. Jesus said it over and over again, love one another, love one another, love one another. What does that mean? What does that look like? Well, Paul told us in the great love chapter, 1 Corinthians 13. He said, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Paul was not at a wedding when he wrote that. We hear this at weddings all the time, right? He wasn't at a wedding. This is not just for weddings and Hallmark cards. This is how we love people. It's how we love all people. Love is patient. Love is kind to all people. That's how we show our love. We're good to people. If we claim to be a Christian and then we treat people badly, that reflects on God. That reflects on God. Be good to people. Represent him well. The third way, and this is not a comprehensive list. I know you all can come up with a million other things that we can do to let our light shine for Jesus, but these are just a few that I wanted to mention this morning. The third one is with our energy. In our women's group, in our Grace Sisters group, we do a challenge every week. And our challenge this week was to be more aware of the energy that we bring into a room when we walk into a room. You know, when you go into a room, do the people feel uplifted or do they feel drugged down, bogged down by your presence? Because when we are in the presence of other people, we should be, that light of Jesus, that love, that peace, that patience, that goodness, that should be radiating through us. That light should be shining through us so that when people are around us, they feel lighter, they feel happier because they've been around us. So through our energy, we can let his light shine. And number 4, with our actions. The things that we do and the things that we don't do. how we spend our time, where we spend our time, what we look at on the internet, what we post on social media. All of those things are important, and they can either turn our light up or they can dim our light down through our actions. So we need to ask ourselves, are there any parts of my life where I'm not letting the light of Jesus shine? Or are there any parts of my life where I'm dimming it down or even covering it up? And address those parts of your life this week. Commit to stepping it up a notch.